The rising impact of Alzheimer's in Washington and how you can help. Alzheimer's disease is a growing public health crisis, and its impact is being felt deeply across Washington state. Data from the Alzheimer's Association's 2025 Alzheimer's Disease Facts and Figures report highlights a startling reality. More Washingtonians are living with Alzheimer's than ever before, and many more are caring for loved ones through the challenges of this devastating disease. With more than 126,000 people age 65 and older currently living with Alzheimer's in Washington state, nearly every community is touched by the disease in some way. These numbers are projected to rise in the years ahead, placing additional pressure on caregivers, health systems, and support services in our state. Alzheimer's doesn't just steal memories, it places enormous physical, emotional, and financial strain on families. But amid the challenges, there is also hope. Awareness is growing, treatments are emerging, and communities like ours are stepping up to help. Now is the time to act. The impact in Washington. The statistics speak volumes, and behind every number is a person, a story, and a family. 126,700 Washingtonians age 65 plus are living with Alzheimer's in 2025. Alzheimer's is the fourth leading cause of death in our state. 254,000 unpaid caregivers are providing care to loved ones with dementia. Those caregivers are contributing an estimated 390 million hours of unpaid care, valued at $11 billion. Over 60% of dementia caregivers have at least one chronic health condition themselves. Medicaid costs for caring for Washington residents with Alzheimer's are projected to reach $747 million this year alone. And yet, while the need for care grows, the workforce to meet that need remains stretched. Washington currently has just 180 geriatricians, and to meet expected demand by 2032, that number would need to grow by 68%. Alzheimer's doesn't affect individuals, it impacts entire families and communities, and it's a problem we can't afford to ignore. Washingtons want to know and prepare. This year's report also includes findings from a national survey of U.S. adults over 45, offering insight into how people think about diagnosis and treatment. The results are clear. Americans want to know if they have Alzheimer's, and they want to know early. Nearly 80% of respondents said they want to know if they had Alzheimer's even before symptoms interfere with daily life. 90% would take a simple diagnostic test, like a blood test, if it was available. 92% would take medications to slow the progression of the disease, and nearly 60% would accept moderate or high risk to gain more time and quality of life. These findings suggest a shift in mindset. People want to take control of their health, plan ahead, and seek help early. That's good news because early detection means more time to access care, build a support system, and explore treatment options. Local resources offer real support. Facing Alzheimer's is hard, but no one has to do it alone. The Alzheimer's Association offers a full range of free programs and services throughout Washington, including dementia care navigation services to help families navigate diagnosis, care planning, and local resources, support groups for caregivers and those living with early stage dementia, education programs, online and in person, on topics like understanding dementia, managing behaviors, and financial and legal planning. A 24/7 helpline, 800-272-3900, that provides round-the-clock access to dementia specialists. Whether you've just received a diagnosis or have been caregiving for years, these services are here to guide and support you. Be part of the solution. The fight against Alzheimer's takes all of us. Whether you have personal experience or simply want to help, there are many ways to make a difference in your community. The Walk to End Alzheimer's. The Walk to End Alzheimer's is the world's largest event to raise awareness and funds for care, support, and research. Held in communities across Washington each fall, the walk is an opportunity to honor those affected by the disease and show up as a united front. Whether you join a team, volunteer at an event, or cheer from the sidelines, your presence matters. Sign up or find your local walk at alz.org/walk. Volunteer your time. Volunteers help power the mission. Opportunities include leading community education classes, facilitating support groups, helping with office or event logistics, serving as a committee member or walk volunteer. The association provides full training and support, whether you can give a few hours a month or a few hours a year, there's a place for you. Explore options at alz.org/volunteer. Become an advocate. Help influence state and federal policies that improve diagnosis, expand access to care, and increase research funding. Alzheimer's advocates write letters, meet with legislators, and attend Washington State Advocacy Day to make their voices heard. Learn more at alzimpact.org. Raise funds your way. You don't have to wait for a walk to make an impact. Through Do What You Love to End Alz, formerly known as The Longest Day, you can turn your passion, whether it's hiking, baking, biking, into a fundraiser. You can also make a donation in honor of a loved one or start a tribute page. Turn your passion into action at events at alz.org/event/do what you love/home. A shared mission and a shared hope. While there is still no cure for Alzheimer's, we are making progress. Research is advancing, awareness is growing, and more Washington families are getting the support they need. What's needed now is action by all of us. Whether you're personally impacted by Alzheimer's or simply want to be part of the solution, your involvement matters. Together, we can ease the burden on families. Together, we can push for earlier diagnosis and better care. Together, we can fund the breakthroughs that will one day end this disease. Because together, we can move closer to a world without Alzheimer's. Need help? Want to get involved? 24/7 helpline at 800-272-3900. Washington chapter and local programs, alz.org/WA. Volunteer, alz.org/volunteer. Walk to End Alzheimer's at alz.org/walk. Dementia is an umbrella term. It is used to describe a range of neurological conditions affecting the brain that worsens over time. Under this umbrella is Alzheimer's disease, a brain disorder that slowly destroys memory and thinking skills and eventually the ability to carry out the simplest tasks. Frontotemporal dementia, a brain disorder that is the result of damage to neurons in the frontal and temporal lobes of the brain, causing changes in thinking and behaviors controlled by those parts of the brain. Lewy body dementia, a brain disorder that can lead to problems with thinking, improvement, behaviors, mood, and other body functions. And vascular dementia, a brain disorder that is caused by conditions such as stroke that disrupt blood flow to the brain and lead to problems with memory, thinking, and behavior. Reach out at 24/7 helpline 800-272-3900. By